Coming up in tonight's bulletin, Solomon Islands is facing a critical shortage of specialist medical surgeons. Solomon Islands, Triple GI and Australia partnered to deliver the country's first national adaptation plan. And logging company operations extended activities into Waimapuru National Secondary School land raises concern. Hello, you're watching SIBC's TV News Bulletin. I'm Sharon Nanao. The country is facing a critical shortage of specialist medical surgeons, prompting concerns over access to essential healthcare services and increased pressure on frontline medical staff. Andrea Mahanua reports.
The Solomon Islands is facing a critical shortage of specialist medical surgeons. This was highlighted in Parliament by the Minister of Health and Medical Services, Dr. Paul Bosawai, in response to a question from the Leader of Opposition. Dr. Bosawai explained that the ministry is supporting the training and upskilling of 15 officers in various specialized medical fields as part of ongoing efforts to address the shortage.
Law General Surgery, currently 5 alana on training. Ophthalmology, where I can law hem 1 on training. Obstetrics and gynecology for the women, for falana on training. And then orthopedic surgery for bone, hemi 4, and again ENT, ear, nose and throat for surgery, hemi 1 fala. Mr. Speaker, we anticipate that if all current trainees successfully complete him now, training blocketa, we will double the number in the next 5 years.
The lack of specialized surgeons has limited access to vital health services across the country and increased pressure on medical staff. SIBC TV spoke with obstetrician gynecologist Dr. Jack Siwainau, who reflected on his past experiences serving at the National Referral Hospital.
Lohelo National Referral Hospital is very difficult for you doing operation because you don't got enough time. Because number of theater, operating theaters are limited, and also support services like Bayuno blood, every major surgeries, OBGY, we need blood. So before patients themselves book for undergo surgery. And sometimes other things have run out, example gauze, sutures have run out, supports where as a specialist you need him for doing wakabloyong. And also make him, do him na waka you supposed for doing. You better like for doing, but him hard him also wafalman hand blame or time upum na behind lo hand blame him na experience. You are capable of doing so many things, but you can't do them because garam na support services or other things where you need him for doing wakablu.
He noted that increasing the number of surgeons would help health authorities expand and decentralize access to these important services.
Time is still NRH, our planning for obstetrics and gynecology is we want to put specialists, one for Kilufi, one for Giza Hospital. I think with those who are undergoing training now, but really help. At big population, Malaita province, if we can have a specialist at Kilufi, baham reducing na referral Kamlohelo NRH. If we have one down Logizo, baham look after Western Province and Choiseul, baham reducing referral come. Maybe in the future, some go school or come back more. We need one for Stelo Makira. Makira is a hotspot. We've receive lots of complicated cases coming from Makira, and we can also have one specialist at Temotu, which is very isolated. For airlifting patient from Lata come down, it's very expensive, and if somebody can stay there, really help.
Andrea Mahanua for SIBC TV.
A landmark initiative which will strengthen Solomon Islands' resilience to climate change and deliver its first national adaptation plan was launched today in Honiara. Called the Strengthening Inclusive Adaptation Capacity in Solomon Islands, the project was launched by the national government in partnership with the Global Green Growth Institute Triple GI with the support of the Australian government through the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade. Alex Dadamu with more on this story.
Building on existing national policies on climate change and disaster risk management, the Strengthening Inclusive Adaptation Capacity in Solomon Islands SIAC-SI project will strengthen coordination, mainstream gender equality, and facilitate access to climate finance to deliver inclusive climate-resilient development outcomes. Minister for Environment, Climate Change, Disaster Management and Meteorology, Honorable Polycarp Paya, described the project as a covenant between the present and future generations.
Today we are not launching just another project or program. We are launching a covenant between this generation and the next. A solemn promise that the Solomon Islands will no longer simply cope with the climate change. We will plan, finance, and build our way out of harm's way. Approximately 60% of our people live within 1 kilometer of a rising coastline.
Triple GI Regional Director Sakyusa Tui Solia emphasized that Solomon Islands is at the forefront of climate change and the initiative will support the national government in developing the National Adaptation Plan.
With this initiative, we are supporting the government of the Solomon Islands to start the development of the country's first National Adaptation Plan, a historic undertaking that represents our shared commitment to safeguard the future of the Solomon Islands through the strong climate resilience and inclusive development. The need for this work could not be much clearer. The Solomon Islands stands on the front line of climate change. Rising sea levels, intensifying cyclones, floods, and threats to agriculture, fisheries, and coastal communities remind us that action cannot wait. Yet while these challenges are formidable, they also present an opportunity to act decisively, to collaborate widely, and to forge a path towards lasting resilience.
Meanwhile, Australian High Commissioner to Solomon Islands, His Excellency Rod Hilton, welcomes the opportunity to partner with Solomon Islands in the project.
But Australia welcomes the opportunity to partner with the Government of Solomon Islands and Triple GI on this $27.5 million initiative. This partnership reflects our shared commitment to build a resilient, a secure and a sustainable Solomon Islands. It also demonstrates the regional leadership Solomon Islands is taking to both bring attention to the impact of climate change, but also, importantly, to respond with practical, adaptation-based solutions.
Alex Dadamu for SIBC TV.
Now, a logging company operating in Makira, Ulawa Province, has extended its activities onto land belonging to Waimapuru National Secondary School. Minister of Education and Human Resource Development, Honorable Tozen Leokana, confirmed this in Parliament this week in response to a question raised by a Member of Parliament for Temotu Nende.
A meeting was convened on the 22nd of September this year between the Provincial Executive and the Waimapuru National Secondary School management to deliberate on this matter. The area of the alleged encroachment is believed to be within the Lot 2 of the LR 817, the title which is held by the Commission of Lands. For information of this Honourable House, Lot 1 is under the jurisdiction of the Temotu and Makira premiers. A survey was subsequently being made or conducted which confirmed evidence of encroachment.
The encroachment reportedly occurred following an invitation by illegal settlers living in surrounding areas.
One of the key resolutions that from the meeting held on the 22nd of September between the school management and the establishment of a task force to address the land issue The task force, which is chaired by the Deputy Provincial Secretary for Makira and Ulaba Province. It was further agreed during that meeting that a brother of the late Chief of Kautosogu, together with a close relative, will be approached as members of the school board and of the specific committee that is being established to deal with the disputed land.
Meanwhile, Minister of Forestry and Research outlined the legal measures available to address the encroachment issue.
So in this instance, if there is an encroachment law registered and owned by the Commission of Lands, two options are available. One, go to the court for restraining orders. That by me taking a little bit of time. The other option is to write to the Commission of Forest for issuing a suspension. And thereafter, they can appeal to the minister, where determination by the minister and final and inconclusive. So, of course, it's a registered land, there's encroachment there. I mean, easy too much to identify me, because there are boundaries of the registered land here. So if there is evidence to show that there's encroachment, appropriate body should go to the commissioner, and commissioner should straight away issue suspension of the license. And then they have the right to appeal to the minister within 2 months, and the minister's decision shall be final and conclusive.
Leader of the opposition group, Honorable Matthew Wale, has called on the ministry to take swift action to suspend the company's operations. Now, primary schools in the Central Island province marked Global Handwashing Day yesterday, highlighting the importance of hygiene education as part of an Australian government-supported WASH project implemented by UNICEF. Cheryl Bera reports.
Nagotano Primary School in Central Islands Province commemorated Global Handwashing Day yesterday. The school is one of 26 schools in the province receiving support from the Australian government through a project focused on water, sanitation and hygiene WASH facilities. The project is implemented by UNICEF in partnership with the Central Province Education Authority. Speaking at the event, school principal Franklin Kekepe emphasized the importance of the project in helping the school maintain proper hygiene standards.
The instruction of modern flush toilets will improve the hygiene and the health standard in our school, and I believe throughout our entire village as well. In the past, we have been using open defecation, using seaside to throw waste matter, which was very unhygienic, posing threat to our health standard. The careless throwing of waste matter has contributed to the spread of sickness and disease because some people are very careless in disposing human waste by just throwing them in the bush that was out of reach of the sea. The flies came and have access to waste and then spread the germs to us. This hand-washing program that we have come to witness today should not be taken for granted, but all of us should be really serious about.
Meanwhile, Central Islands Province Education Board Chairman George Selwyn Luga said such program is welcomed by the community as it promotes the use of proper sanitation facilities and its advantages.
Some of our previous speakers earlier have never been to Honiara and other urban centers, and we never access to using modern toilet systems, where very soon our school will have access to using permanent flush toilets built for our teachers and students to use. The introduction of modern flush toilets will improve the hygiene and health standard in our schools, and I believe throughout our entire village here as well. Nagotano community was well privileged to have a water supply project built and nearing completion before mid-2026. Please make use of this project in trying to build permanent toilets for your respective families. For our primary school, the materials have already been made available last week, and work on it will start as soon as possible.
Global Handwashing Day is observed annually on October 15 and serves as a reminder of the importance of regular hand washing for hygiene and health. Cheryl Berra for SIBC TV.
Now, the Australia Volunteers Programme, supported by Australian Volunteers International, AVI, continues to make a significant impact in the Solomon Islands, building on a proud history of 75 years of volunteering across the Pacific, Asia and Africa. The volunteers have partnered with over 50 local organizations, delivering more than 200 assignments focused on different sectors across the country. AVI emphasizes that the program is not a one-way exchange, but a mutual sharing of skills and experiences that benefits both the volunteers and the communities they serve.
So this is not a program about a one-way sharing of skills. This is about a sharing of skills and sharing of experience and cultural exchange. It's something that benefits everybody. I think in the Solomons, there's probably different things that have been more impactful than others. We have particularly done a lot of work in the health sector over time and with the National Referral Hospital particularly. So that's been something that's been going for many years, and we have an Australian organisation, more than one, that also help us to find the volunteers that come in and provide mentoring and training to medical staff in the referral hospital and others in the health sector as well. So because that's been going for such a long time, I think that one's a really impactful example. So at the moment, well, in the Australian Volunteers Program, this phase of the program, it started 8 years ago. And in that time in the Solomons, we've had more than 170 volunteers working with more than 50 partner organisations and delivering, again, more than 200 assignments. So there's been a lot of different things that have been going on.
Looking ahead, AVI's focus will continue to align with the Solomon Islands government's priorities, with ongoing support in education, health, governance and social inclusion.
Part of that will depend on the priorities of the Solomon Islands government here, because the program very much is informed by the agreement between the Solomon Islands government and the Australian government about where they want to see priorities. So in terms of the kinds of sectoral priorities that we focus on, I think it will be a little bit hard to predict at the moment. It will depend on those consultations. But for AVI, who will also continue to support volunteering.
SIBC TV understands over 17,000 Australians have participated in the program, with more than 170 volunteers working in the country alone over the past 8 years. SIBC is among one of the organisations in the country benefiting from AVI. And that's news. Follow us on sibconline.com.sb and our SIBC News Facebook page for more of our latest stories. Thanks for watching.